Welcome to today's trade recap. Not today's, but yesterday's trade recap because I couldn't make the video yesterday. However, I will keep this short and as quick as possible because I have a New York session to trade in about 1 hour 30. Right. So going into the chart for the day, the chart. I don't know why I keep saying chart. The chart. Both indexes were bullish. The 1 hour was bullish, the 4 hour was bullish for both Nasdaq and ES, right? So I was basically looking for longs, right? I was expecting price to come down here, right? Sweep some lows, then move up. So instead, this is what happened. Let's see what happened, and then I'm gonna show you the trade that I took and why I took it. So let's go. This is NQ, by the way. Boom, boom, right? So what are we expecting now? We just swapped this low resistant draws of liquidity, right, on the NQ, and then if we go to ES, we are pushing upwards. Well, we are bullish on all time frames, so I'm not surprised. However, what this means is that ES is leading to the upside, meaning if we're gonna take longs, we will take them on ES. So let's play more battle plays to see if we break structure to the upside on NQ, right? Once we do, we're gonna wait for some form of 5-minute retracement, then we take longs off of that. So let me play a few more bars and we'll see how it goes. Okay, boom. So we broke structure up here, right? So what are we looking for now? Some form of retracement, right? Okay, this candle is giving it away, but then we broke structure up there, and then we formed this fair value gap up here, right? So what are we looking for? For price to come into the fair value gap and continue pushing upwards. And then on ES, we're looking for the same thing, right? So on ES, we also have fair value gaps. This one here and that. So I'm gonna mark it out so that in case we inverse it, then that simply means that we can now start waiting for a 5-minute retracement again. Then we take shorts. We're gonna change our bias. Remember, or notice how on the when going into the market we're looking for longs, but then if we invest this, we're gonna look for shorts. So now because we are in a 5-minute retracement, we're gonna head over into M1, right? What do we have? We have this breakdown here. What are we waiting for? A break of structure upwards. Same goes for NQ, right? We need to rotate down, then rotate upwards. So at the moment, this is what's happening, right? So let's see how it went. So we have, let's see, this is 54. Okay, so we're gonna play one more. Boom. So nothing much happened from that candlestick, right? However, there is a new 5-minute candlestick which we have to take a look at, right? So let's see on NQ, nothing happened as well, right? So here we go. We didn't invest that, but then we're still pushing down, right? So this means we're gonna have to wait up until price come all the way up to break up here or invest a fair value gap somewhere, right? So let's continue playing and see. I'm gonna play 5 more candlesticks so that we can look at the 5-minute candlestick as well. There. Now what this means is that on Nasdaq we invest the fair value gap. You see, here's the 5-minute candlestick. We invest the fair value gap. On ES, let's see if we did the same. If we did, then awesome. Okay, we did as well. Now what are we waiting for? Some form of retracement, then we're gonna take shots, right? So let's see. Okay, so we now have this tiny fair value gap here that we can retrace into. In this case, we can consider price to retrace into equilibrium, which is something that looks like this. In case we get a bullish candlestick, we're gonna put this up, right? And then we're gonna expect price to fill equilibrium. So let's see on NQ, we also have a fair value gap up here, right? Now we can go to M1. We can focus on M1 now up until we either invest those fair value gaps. Let me mark them so that we can be aware in case we invest them, right? So we have that, and we have this. Okay, so M1, there we go. But then what are we expecting? This is giving it away already. But then we expect a break of structure in, or an inverse fair value gap in, then an inverse fair value gap out, right? What did we have in this case? This is for ES, by the way. There we got our inverse fair value gap in, right, into this 5-minute fair value gap, and then we also got an inverse fair value gap out over here, right? Meaning if this candlestick, actually it did close here, so now that it closed here, we have to look for the same on Nasdaq, and then once we have that, we're gonna take shorts on Nasdaq because ES, it is the leading index to the upside, right? And here we go. So we had this fair value gap, we invested with this bullish candlestick here, and then what did we have again? Another fair value gap down here, which we invest out, right? So what are we gonna do? Take shorts. So our stop loss will be above that high, above this high over here, right? Confirm. And then what are we gonna target? We can go to M5 to see if we have any low resistance draws of liquidity that we can target, right? We have that, and we also have the London slow. So in this case, I targeted the London slows, right? And then confirm again. Then we can do the bar replay and see how it played out. This was around 4 p.m., meaning 30 minutes into the market, into market open, right? And again, we didn't have any news event for the day, so I have to point that one out. So let's see how it played out. Okay, there, and then our take profit was hit just like that, right? However, that was my target, but what price did instead, it kept on dumping from London's low, it went to Asia low. Let me do this so that you can see. Perhaps I should have opened, you see, it dumped, some form of retracement, and then it dumped again there. So it dumped almost the entire day, I believe. Actually it did. So perhaps I was supposed to have opened more than one position and then let the other ones run, right, instead of closing on London slow. However, our take profit was hit, our strategy still works, and still our setup is still valid, and we won for the day. So that's enough for me. I don't want to get too greedy and be like, I want the whole movement. No, I fit my targets, and that's all that matters to me. And I followed my plan and my rules, and it played out as I expected. So again, with that being said, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you on to the next one.